Wow, new intro music. That took me by surprise. Really cool sort of thing. Welcome to the Escapement Show, fellas. Good to see you all in chat, and hope you're doing well. Yeah, see some fellas in the chat. Good morning, Joseph D. First in the house.
Sup?
What's up? Yeah, Russell 996. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Russ.
As always. D-Time Love Show. On an airport run, but listening in the car. Hope you have a safe travel, mate. And hope you can stay with us when you get back. Brent, stalwart view of the streams. Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
Mason One, greetings, watch humans. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And Timepiece Bob, all the way from Singapore, I believe. How you doing, Mr. Timepiece Bob? Good to see you in the house. Yeah, well, we've been running a bit late today. We've got some panelists joining a bit later on. So times,
it's live, man.
That's live, trying to get everyone together, people are busy and stuff like that, so, but we're doing a textured dial watch show today. Different watches. I like, I'm a dial man myself, and that's what attracts me mainly to the watch. So, and I really like different dials. There's someone saying, sorry for discriminating against non-human watch lovers. Yeah, so yeah, I love different dials, and when you get patterns on them, textures, different stuff like that, I find that really interesting. So let's have a quick wristwatch check, guys, before we continue. So JCB, first in the hot seat.
Yeah. So we're talking about interesting dials today. Hang on, can we get some? I'm going to disappear, but maybe the watch will stick up. This is we've got a few Seikos on the show today, so I thought I'd bust out my vintage Seiko 5. It's from
Nice.
Yeah, it's from 1976. So this one's been in the family since then. And you can see the dial, it's got this sort of cool blue sort of gradient, and you can see that sort of bit stripy. It's got this interesting sort of sunburst. It's like a sunburst, but there's that three sections on the dial there. So yeah, something funky, something a bit different. And yeah, not really a textured dial, but I think it's an interesting dial nonetheless. So you can see Seiko been doing interesting dials since for a very long time now. So
yeah,
there you go. This is from 76.
Very nice.
Cheers.
Abdul, what have we got on wrist?
I have on loan from Christopher Ward. This Christopher Ward 12. It's the new 38 millimeter 12 in white dial. So it has a texture to it, as you can see. And yeah, pretty cool size as well. I have a 17.1 centimeter wrists. And I tried the 40 out. It was great, but I think even the 38 is a better fit on my wrist, especially with the
that looks good, man. That size looks really good.
Yeah. I've been wearing the past couple of days, and it's really comfortable as well. The size just good. The bracelet is well made. They added like half links here, so now I can have the exact fit for my wrist, so it doesn't move around. Yeah, really nice watch from Christopher Ward, I have to say.
Lovely.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm just winding mine because it's at the wrong time. So yeah, I'm wearing the Martin. The closest I've got to a textured dial, the Martin Designs regulator Tonoros. It's more lightly grained dial. But you might not be able to see it too well. Lightly grained dial, but it's great watch from MD Watches. Great price point. 300 or so euros or pounds, or dollars even. I think about $350.
That's
yeah. For a regulator, I think it's great. Skylar Sansala, my man, how you doing? Good to see you in the house. Good morning, my friend. Yeah, so you pointed out some Seikos, and we'll start off with some Seiko, or Grand Seiko, should I say. And I had a friend come and visit me a while back, and she was wearing a silver bird. And I thought it was magnificent, the dial. It really stood out. And
yeah, I remember when this one came out. I never saw it. I've never seen one in the metal, but I remember looking at the photos, going, "Wow, what a cool dial."
Yeah, it came out in 2021. It's got these vertical striations that are raised a bit, like bark on a tree. Yeah. I think it's white birch, as it says, it's a tree. So yeah. So it's really nice.
Yeah. And I think they came out with a black birch after a couple of years after that as well.
They've come out with a blue birch this year. I know that.
Blue birch as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, some people don't like Grand Seiko, but they got a huge following.
Well, they're really like they're known for their dials, right? They're like the dial masters.
Absolutely, yeah. Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and good to start off with Grand Seiko, I think, because I sort of feel like when I think of Grand Seiko, I always think like, quality, pretty conservative style cases, but the dials are what pop, and it's what sets them apart, I think. If I was going to get a Grand Seiko, it would have to be something like this with one of these funky dials for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you could really not get a funky dial Grand Seiko. Yeah. Just let's a few more in the chat. Hi, Fat Wimback Ben, good to see you. Tom A, great to see you. Maggie Casio GTR. Bill, great to see you in the house. Skylar saying he loves me some Texas dials. He's doing well. Yeah, Texas dials are great. I love them. And
I think what sets Grand Seiko apart is not only the texture dial, but the finish of the indices and the hands, because they always do like a combination of polished and let's say some other kind of finish, so it even reflects more lights off it, so it even gives it a much better look.
Hi Ben, hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hi guys. All good.
See you, Ben.
What you got on wrist?
Grand Seiko.
Grand Seiko. We're just talking Grand Seiko.
Nice.
So, what's your opinion on the silver bird?
Yeah, I love it. Very cool. They just do some things just so well. The blued seconds hands and the Zaratsu finishing on right down to the indices. Just the level of detail on this type of Grand Seiko is unbelievable. And then dials that you just don't see from the mainstream brands, Rolex and Omega. That's really their specialty.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll skip on from this one. We've got lots to get through. And we'll move on to another one which has sort of vertical striations, but in a brushed style. A brushed metal, vertical brushing A dial color that was first used in the 1940s and 50s, made using a galvanic coating of 18-karat rose gold and copper. This is the Fears Brunswick Copper Salmon. I love this watch.
Yeah, that's a cracker, man. That looks great.
Yeah.
Huh?
Love it. Really do. Don't know whether it'll come up. Oh no, it's just gone big. But yeah, really do like it. You see there.
Excellent choice of hands. Really, really nice.
Yeah, those skeleton hands. Yeah.
This one's in my bucket list, Tom. I absolutely love this watch. This is definitely going to end up in my collection at some stage. And they're good value as well for what you get.
Yeah. They are good value. They're about £3,000, I think, aren't they?
Yeah. And there's stock Jura watches in the UK sell them. CW sellers, they're known as well.
Yeah.
And you can often get them on a sale.
But I love that brushed finish. It just looks so nice. It's so beautiful. Go back to it. Just a great watch, I think. Great brand. Britain's oldest brand, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those micro brands as well, isn't it? Nicholas Bowman Scargill, I think, is the guy's name. He's accessible. He can chat to you as a customer. You get that kind of real close-knit customer
interaction. Yeah. Hans Wilson, my friend, he says he loves the birch Grand Seikos and especially the green one, the green birch. I haven't seen a green one, Hans.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Another cracking username. The creativity in the comments is unbelievable.
It is. That's a great username, that isn't it? Yeah, so that's the Fears Brunswick. It's another favorite of mine. That is a favorite of mine, definitely. Anybody got any opinions on that watch? What do you think, JCB? Or
I think it's universal opinion. We really like that piece. Like, I don't normally like to speak on behalf of people, but I think it sounds like we all love that one. I saw a comment from Bill in the chat. $3,000. What a rip-off! Yeah, the price seems a little bit out there. £3,000 for a micro brand. I was thinking more. I would be sort of comfortable paying for that. You know, maybe in the £1,000 sort of range would be the comfort zone for me. But I don't know enough about it, like the specs.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them a micro brand as such. Now I think they're more small, independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're a resurgent brand. I think the Nicholas Bowman Scargill is a descendant of the original founders. They were around for a while periodically, and they came back. I think the execution is very high end, and I presume they're using Solita movements in that, Tom. Maybe you can.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
To me, that's probably because that's a sports watch with clear indices, like almost like a field watch, but with high end copper dials that can rival something like an Explorer for me, but at less than half the price.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, next up, and this is your wheelhouse, Ben. The Seiko Prospex Glaciers Save the Ocean 1968 reinterpretation. They have long names, don't they? This is inspired by the ice of Antarctica, and the glaciers formed during the Ice Age, they say. And again, this has got sort of vertical striations. So we're going to go through different themes on this build. So these are vertical patterns, mainly lines to start off with. Some of you might find them boring. What's your take on this, Ben, being a Seiko guy?
Yeah, I was in the Seiko boutique there in Bond Street in London on Wednesday, and they had everything. They have a plethora of these type of dials. You can take your pick. Like the amount of texture dials that they put into their divers or even their Presage collection is unbelievable. So, yeah, you can really have a good browse and take your pick. This watch in particular, yeah, it's pretty cool. But as I say, there is a million and one type of these dials. there's something
Yeah.
for everybody in the audience when it comes to texture dials on Seiko divers, the Seiko Presage collection.
Yeah. Anybody else got any opinions? Abdul, JCB?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
Got it.
nice dial. As Ben said, I think one can find the one that he feels most attracted to in their catalog, because they Seiko, when they do a model, they do 1,000 variation of them, so one can find their favorite color. But I wouldn't buy a textured dial diver somehow. I would like to have something like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of the opposite. I feel like if you can get something like this from Seiko, I'd probably get something like this, to be honest with you. I really like it. The color combo on this watch is just unreal. That light blue with the dark blue bezel, and that you're looking at that dial, I sort of get transported to like Antarctica or something, looking at an iceberg or something like that. You know what I mean? I reckon that's super cool.
There's a couple of other variations of this if you don't like the case style. There's the Umura, which is the 6105 modern reinterpretation, and that's there's a blue, again, a similar type colorway, but with a textured kind of ice, like the top surface of ice. The one that caught my eye in the Grand Seiko boutique, again, the same color scheme and a textured blue dial, and it was the modern Willards, which if you've tried those on, their lug to lug is shorter than the original one, and it's relatively thin. It's a nice kind of svelte modern wear for a diver.
Yeah, okay. So we'll move on from the brick-looking dials to the concave patterns. And there's quite a few of these. First one was this Strom Jan Mayen. Now, this is sticking with the Arctic theme, but not brushed. Dial captures the Arctic Ocean, they say, and the textured dial manifests the crashing waves that batter the Arctic coastline. Coming in at 1,700 USD. There's this blue style pattern. I like the red. You say you're looking for a red watch at the moment, Ben? Comes in a lot of different colors.
That's gorgeous.
Green. But yeah, there's the Arctic blue. That's not so much concave as cracked. But the Arctic blue. Now, what do you think of this one?
Looks really nice. Price is okay. I think it's cool. I think if you're looking for an integrated bracelet watch, like Christopher Ward, this is also.
You nearly said Christian Ward then.
Yeah. But I like the dial. It feels like space somehow, very spacey.
I like the dial. Yeah.
Is it possible to zoom in on the dial?
It doesn't let me zoom in. I can.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can try. I can
try the night one maybe. See a little bit different.
Oops.
That's out.
It's getting smaller.
Yeah. There you go.
That's maximum.
It's a real interesting pattern, isn't it? It's,
I think that's really gorgeous. That's a great find, Tom.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
I'm a sucker for a fume dial as well, where it blackens out towards the edges. It looks like a nice shallow dial, nice finish on the indices, some beautiful finishing on the inner links on the bracelet. It's a lot of thought, a lot of attention to detail gone into that. I didn't know this brand existed. That's really gorgeous.
Yeah. So that was that one. Another concave pattern. And another Glacier limited edition. This is the Baltic Hermetique. I really like this one. Sections of dial textured yet again to evoke landscapes of glaciers. Dials are stamped and were available in black or white, which were limited to 200 pieces in each colour and are sold out. Yeah, I really like this sort of dimpled concave sort of pattern. €600 this was on a rubber strap, or 685 on a bracelet. So just goes to show you don't have to spend a fortune on a concave for the on a textured dial. Got any thoughts on this one?
Nice, but €600. It's a good watch. If you're looking for something under 1,000 for that textured dial, I think Baltic is not a bad place to buy. Baltic or Zelos. Wow, the black one even looks really nice as well. The raised indices are really cool. The raised numerals.
Just being Ben of art fans.
Yeah, it's not my cuppa. Like when I can, yeah. I mean, it's okay. Like it's when you zoom in on it and you see the detail, it's kind of cool. But just overall, just not really my cuppa, I think.
Yeah, there's something jarring with me on it. I'm not sure I could put my finger on it, but I think it might be the fact that the texture dial doesn't extend out. That you've got this black Minitrack. It's just looks a bit disjointed. Like there's too many features going on there. Actually, the black one looked a more cohesive piece.
You think?
And then you've got the white indices then crossing over the black minute markers and into the dial. It's okay.
Yeah.
The texture on the dial itself is pretty cool.
No fuss about this one then. Okay.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Fair enough. That's cool. You probably like this one though, Ben. The Snowflake. Similar sort of pattern. Sticking with the winter weather yet again. This is one of the original designs for this theme. The came out in 2005. The dial depicts freshly fallen snow on the Shinzu Mountains, and it's a stamped style. Several layers of slightly translucent coating which reveal the texture underneath are added. Very Japanese in technique, which is reminiscent of traditional water paintings, they say. What do you think of this one then?
I don't know what to say here. It's like pushing an open door. This is like the epitome of Grand Seiko for me. And actually, you know, they've got a new 9F quartz version of this. Now, I know quartz is much derided within our community, generally speaking. But if you don't like that power reserve that kind of eats into the dial, the quartz version is so clean. And you still get everything else. You still get the finishing on the case, the beautiful indices, the dates, and the beautiful hands. Those hands in real life are just absolutely incredible. And the 9F quartz, you know, even though we're not fans of quartz, or people are not possibly fans of quartz, when you set the time on it, and 6 months later it's lost 1 second, you can't help but be impressed by that.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And you can get this dial, but I think for less than 3,000 euro at retail.
Yeah, I get it. I suppose quartz versus automatic is a different discussion, isn't it? You know, but hey, I mean, they both have their benefits, don't they?
I'm really just making the point that this dial is gorgeous and it can be had for, you know, half the price of the spring drive, really.
Yeah, right. Any thoughts, Abdul?
I don't like
or JCB?
reserve. That's the only thing I don't like about the watch. But I wouldn't buy
me too.
this one because about power reserve as well.
Yeah, it's sort of the beauty of this dial is that texture, and you sort of thinking about the mountain and the snow, and then it's ruined by that the power reserve, which is a bit annoying. For me, this one, I think what ruined this watch for me was actually the silver birch. Like the silver birch, the pattern is so much more pronounced, and it's so much more interesting. This one, it just sort of when I look back to this one, the Snowflake, it's just sort of a little bit. It's like the more boring alternative to the silver birch, I think. When I think about the thing I like about the newer releases in the Grand Seiko dials is they're actually really textured, like the Lake Suwa and the silver birch and the black birch. They're really grained and really patterned. So this one, I get it. It's sort of one of the originals, but I sort of prefer the later iterations of the dials.
Yeah. Watch Apprentice says it does nothing for him. This one.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Yeah. He doesn't like Grand Seiko, though. I think he's a Grand Seiko hater. So. So he's a Rolex snob. Okay, we'll move on. So the last one of these sort of concave, you wouldn't really call this concave. I call this a more pebble dash sort of texture. Is the Patek 5226G Calatrava. A matte black textured dial, like a bobbled sort of pronounced grain finish. It's a granular stamped pattern, very impressively done. And you'll see on the pictures here, it's nice sort of pattern. That it's like a sort of pebble dash.
This looks like a bitumen road, doesn't it? Like like you look like you're looking at
tarmac.
Looking down on a road or something. I don't know. This one, I just don't get this watch, to be honest. Like, I don't get the hype. I don't get why it's so popular. It just does nothing for me, to be really frank. If you're into that sort of three-hander field watch look, and you want something that's a Patek, and you want like a field watch on steroids, then fine, go for it. But it's just not the sort of watch that does anything for me personally. So I think it's more just like the genre of the watch. I don't get with this type of this piece. So throwing on a textured dial is just gonna do nothing for me, if that makes sense.
Brent says he was thinking it looks like non-skid tape.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of an actual dial, like a textured dial, it's nothing. That's what I mean. Like, it's like you're looking down on a road or something, and I don't find it very attractive as a texture, to be honest, as well.
Yeah.
A pretty flat texture.
Yeah. There's other elements to it that I really like. I love the application of the indice. I love a field watch. It's one of my favorite genre of watches. I love the hands and the application of indices, and the faux patina looks subtly done. It's not faux patina in your face.
Yeah.
Faux patina up the wazoo, as they might say.
Yeah. There's a lot of people love that watch. Yeah, like boys in the chat are going off. They're saying it's the best watch ever and yada yada.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Like, if that's your thing, go for it. I just can't see it really. I can't see how that's the best watch ever. To be honest, I just don't see it at all.
Bill saying it's the best watch ever, knocks it out of the park. Three-hander saying it's a tech dial.
That's why the hobby is so interesting, because everybody has a different perspective of what's the best watch ever, what's beauty, what's cool. And I think if they just replaced the date window and had like a full dial and removed this hobnobs on the side, I might like it more, but for me it's also not doing anything.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Calatrava is a Calatrava, isn't it? And I'm with Ben. I like a field watch design, but that price at 30,000 quid, what was
Wow.
it? £35,730. I'm not paid for a field watch.
Get a Hamilton Murph for €700 on the secondary market.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. So we go from flat patterns to three-dimensional pans. This Czapek Antarctic, salmon or glacier blue colours, has a signature three-dimensional trapezoidal pattern called the Stairway to Eternity. Czapek have called it. So you get the salmon, you get the blue. I mean, what's your favourite? Do you like this watch? And what's your favourite? Go for it.
It makes me a little dizzy, the dial. I have the same issue with the Christopher Ward 12, although I granted I haven't held it in hand. Pictures are not going to do it justice. I prefer the blue dial to this copper type one. And obviously the elements, there's some elements of Czapek are obviously next level. They're competing with Patek in the luxury sports integrated range. Or the elements of it, I love the crown guards. I like the hands, and I love the bracelet. The indices I'm not crazy about, and the dial makes me a little dizzy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. JCB, got any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't. The Antarctic, it's not really my favorite line from Czapek. I like their more complicated watches, like the chronos, and you know, they've got some more complicated stuff. That just comes down to me liking the more complex stuff. I like this one, the blue one. The Antarctic is pretty cool. If I was going to get an Antarctic, I probably wouldn't go for this one. I think there's one. There's a version of the dial that's got like it's a real trippy looking dial. I can't remember what it's called.
There's also this one called the Frozen Star, which is a 38-piece limited edition with a dial made of osmium. It's
that one's pretty cool.
One of the rarest elements of the Earth's crust, which is dense, yet hard yet brittle, and notoriously hard to work with. A unique texture with an intense shimmering brilliance, they say. This is an interesting one,
cool.
I thought.
I like that one better than the other dial, to be honest.
Yeah, +1.
Getting a bit more of like that aventurine sort of vibe. With this one, which is really cool. So it's cool. I think definitely because the Antarctic is a three-hander, so I think definitely if you're gonna get one, you want one with a really funky dial. So it's got to have something going on. I think the earlier sort of models of this line were maybe a bit more flat. So I would go for something like this for sure. But the Antarctic overall, I think, is a cool piece because it's so thin and the finishing, the level, everything about the watch is really, really cool. It's definitely a cool watch.
Yeah, we'll move on to the Antarctic Pretender and the one that Abdul's wearing, which is the Christopher Ward 12, which is basically, an artistic, colourful textured dial, again, very similar to the Antarctic, but using Christopher Ward's cross logo in the pattern. This titanium version has a gradient effect colour going from blue to black, but it was designed by a designer who worked for Czapek. So,
oh my god, it's amazing when you showed those two side by side. It's almost a direct homage.
Yeah, it's got the same crown guards. It's got the
same lugs, same form for the bezel.
Same indices.
Same indices. Pretty much everything what you would get in a Czapek if you had like a 10% budget. So Czapek is like 20K. This is like 1,300. So basically, I want the same watch, but I just want to pay 1,300. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Put everything down.
Yeah. Welcome, Y2K. How are you doing?
Okay.
Hey, what's UK? What's up?
Hey, Y2K, good to see you.
Long time no see.
I've always.
Long time no see. Good to see all of you.
Oh man, I can't get behind this Christopher Ward logo though. Like I just can't.
The flag, the English and Swiss flag. Yeah.
Is that what it is? A Swiss
Yeah,
flag?
it's an English and a Swiss flag.
Fuck, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, I think before this, what was it? It was just like the name, Christopher Ward, maybe. Like, I don't think they even had a logo, perhaps, or it might have been a stylized version of the actual, just the name, Christopher Ward. Anyway.
300 saying he went to school with someone called Christopher Ward and you can't see the watch behind the same after that.
Yeah. I always think of St. Christopher's Ward, like some wing of a hospital. I think the logo is a big plus.
Yeah. I would have liked it if this watch didn't have the logo on it. I would like it a lot more. All right.
What's your thoughts, Abdul? You're the man who's been reviewing this watch, and what are your thoughts?
Now after JCB said about the logo, I cannot unsee it. It's totally different now, because before I was always like interested in the other part of the dial, because I was like, what pattern is that? And now I can see the cross pattern and I can see the Swiss and English flag. And I'm like, okay, another logo.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I ruined
it. It was the fascination with the whole dial itself. But otherwise, for 1,000,
it's not that bad.
It's not bad at all. Like compared to the other watches we just had, Pierce was 3,000. The other one was 1,700, and this one is 1,350. And they all have Salita, Elaboré, this one as well. So the decorated movement, basically, let's say, very similar production quality from all three brands. But I guess they share a lot of suppliers that supply them the parts. So you pretty much get same quality for paying the different prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Three-Hander in the comments. I think it's better than when Christopher Ward's, the entire text was written across the dial.
Yeah, I agree. When they actually wrote Christopher Ward on the dial. Yeah. Nicer to have a logo than...
I was thinking maybe CW, but maybe it would be too much like DW, Daniel Wellington. So they would be associated with some fashion brand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think it's okay. I'm not offended by it.
Yeah, okay. So that's the three-dimensional dials. We'll move on to wave dials. And I think the watch that started it all off was this one. Has to be. The Omega SMP 300 with their wave dial, which is a dial. This is the most popular wave dial, first launched in 1995 in golden eye with Brosnan. Polished bleed ceramic wave dial, which is laser engraved, and yeah, you see it more up close in this picture. So it's laser engraved. It actually is 3D. So it is textured. What do we think of this one? Are we fans of it? Are we not? I'm not a fan of the Seamaster Professional in general. The SMP 300. I don't like it. I think it's had its day. And that we're going to need to ditch it and come out with a new watch altogether, new diver altogether, or concentrate on the planet Ocean and make it thinner.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I had this watch, the black dial version, and I also had the predecessor, which was not the Bond, but around the same time there was a watch called the 2254, which was sort of a black dial diver with the sword hands, but they were not skeletonized sword hands. I think what's shit about this watch is the hands and the bracelet. Everything else is pretty cool, actually. And this dial, and the dial on the original Bond, the 2254, it was actually really wavy. It was actually really cool. This one, it wasn't as wavy, but it's a ceramic dial, and it's a sort of and they've engraved the ceramic. It's actually a really cool watch when you've got it in hand and got it on wrist. But yeah, let down by the bracelet, I reckon. And the hands, the skeleton hands they're just shit. They're just shit. Really.
I'm with you there.
Else to say about them, yeah, like because the loom is really. They've got these really the thin lines of loom, which don't loom up very well at all. So they're not very functional from that perspective. I think that they should redesign the watch. If they redesigned it and changed the hands up and the bracelet, then it would be a winner. But yeah, I think I'm with you, Thomas, in that. I think the styling overall has had its days because it's still in that 90s sort of style, particularly with the bracelet. So yeah, I would prefer them if they did. Like ID Guy did a video on the 2254 the other day, like how they should redesign it. And I think he's onto something there. Look, we've all been saying for ages, bring back the 2254. We all want the 2254. Like, it's such a great watch. But they just haven't done it for some reason. I don't know why. I think you're right. They're focusing on the Planet Ocean line. But the problem with that is, as we all know, it's just too thick. They're too chunky, those watches. That's why this is the one that you get when you don't want the thickness of a Planet Ocean. But the problem is this watch is flawed as well. So there's no fucking in between. That's really good, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mason's saying he does like those Seamaster 300Ms, but there's so many dive watches to choose from, it starts to get difficult to justify unless your collections going in a diver's theme. Oh, thank you, Doc Mick. He's up early and he's saying hi to us and the boys. And thank you.
Hey, Doc.
Hi, Doc Mick. How are you?
Hi, Doc.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Doc Mick.
Yeah.
I've always been really impressed with the finishing on this. The application of the indices, and the indices stand quite proud off the dial, and they look really well filled with loom. But I've always been, when it comes to divers, I've always been more attracted to the straighter lugs of Tudor and Rolex. But obviously they can't go down that road. They need to differentiate themselves somehow. But I think you guys make a good point that has a very 90s styling and probably needs some sort of redesign.
Y2K, you wanted to show us something, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So this is the 2531.80. Let me just light it up a bit. So this is the more popular Pierce Brosnan. So Pierce Brosnan's Omega Seamaster. It's one of the few that's really iconic because of the wave dial. And in terms of the weight and everything, it's always, I think this is signature. So it's very individualized, which means that you can like it for the 90s style, but I always think that the 90s style has always been very signature, and these guys have actually helped the value very well. In terms of not just value retention, but also in terms of movement-wise, this watch actually has been checked by a watchmaker, and I'll be factual, the watch movement is still in pristine condition. It's been 4 years. It's gone for biannual kind of check. It's still, movement's still fine, and it's actually very robust movement. So in terms of it, for our lovely viewers, yeah, you even got this at the back too. You can see the signature Seamaster look. Yeah. You can't really go wrong with this one. There is a smaller version of this one, 36mm, which Prince William, I think, had one. Yeah, from...
Yeah, it's so thin as well, that watch, which is really cool. That's what I loved about the 2254.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 11 point something. I think it's 11.6 mil, which
So
is just
if I was to put it on,
amazing.
yeah.
You know?
Of course, there is
Yeah,
two
they
things
wear
you guys
so
mentioned.
well.
Of the bracelet, you've got the bracelet that's still sticking the same design. You've got this, and yeah. So in terms of it, it's still iconic. So I would say I would keep the design, but I would probably come up with a newer version, but keep the signature 90s design intact for those of us who still like the 90s design. Yeah.
And also, I think it's just also worth mentioning that the later, like the very, very current version, there's like a Bond version of the watch now in a blue dial and a black dial, which has that original wave texture on it as well. So they've brought that back, which is pretty cool.
Well, I just found that there are 101 wave pan dials, and we'll go through a few. This is one of your Ben's picks for his worst releases of 2024 that we did on our Christmas show, and they continue wave like groove pattern similar to the Bond Seamaster in this Seiko octagonal bezel diver in the Prospex series. You still hate this then, Ben?
Well, yeah, I hate the direction that Seiko are going with this. Like I was saying at Christmas, they've taken the indices from the Daytona. They've taken the dial from an Aqua Racer or a Nautilus or the Omega, take your pick. It's octagonal like the Royal Oak. It's got crown guards like a Submariner. It's got a 45 GS case. It's like it's taking the piss. It's like when Moser did that Swiss watch. You know that Swiss watch thing? The conglomerate. Yeah. It's like Seiko's version of the Swiss watch.
Yeah.
And I like Seiko. To me, we love them because everything they do has been so unique. Like when Rolex and Omega are making very thin divers, Seiko in the 70s were coming out with big fat cushion Willard cases. But they seem to have gone down this direction of paying homage to other watches lately. And that's I find that a bit worrying.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do chat then. More wave dials coming.
Plus, they're charging in excess of $1,000 for that watch.
Yeah, 1,200 euros.
Yeah, it's too much.
I really like this next one. This is a Christopher Ward Dune C65 Dune Aeolian collection. These new ripper dials are inspired by sand dunes, hence the name Dune. The flowing asymmetrical wave patterns, well executed, I feel. Rows of horizontal ridges are represent dunes, but also have wave dial aesthetic, I feel. I'll just click on one.
So 760 euros. That's good.
Yeah, 760 euros. So, I mean, I quite like that. And it's different from a normal wave dial like the Bond or the Seiko we just saw. But it's got a sort of wave style. I mean, it is sand dunes, but it's definitely got a wave style to it. What do you think to this one?
I like it. And I like they didn't cut any date window out like Seiko does with its wave dial, which I hate. Because the idea of buying such a texture dial is to have the full dial. So why put a date function on it? But yeah, I digress. No, I like it. For the money, it's quite nice.
£760. Yeah. Any other opinions?
I'll tell you what my issue is with this watch is the San Martin came out with this dial first. The Chinese are producing these dials, obviously, and I just see this watch and it's a nice watch. I agree with Abdul. It looks like a nice watch, very field aesthetic, but I look at it and I just think Chinese factory. Now
Really?
I know a lot of watches and a lot of parts and pieces and everything. We all know that at this stage, even Swiss-made watches, a lot of it comes from China, but this one kind of screams it out.
Okay. Did that one. A very similar dial you can get for 16,000 francs, Swiss francs. Is the new Czapek Promenade Plissé, limited to 18 pieces each. Czapek released this version of the Promenade for 2025, and Plissé translates as pleated for the fashion-inspired design. But I feel it still looks like a wave-style design in a way. 3 different colorways, unisex size at 38mm, has a stamp down made by Metalem, and sub-seconds has a circular pattern. Do you like these ones then, Ben? These still San Martin designs, do you think?
No, well, it just wouldn't be for me. Actually, it looks like a lady's fashion watch. There's also too much negative. I say there's a lot of negative space. The dial furniture doesn't take up enough room on the dial. Also, I just like a bit more case than that. I couldn't. Did you give what's the diameter?
38 mil.
Okay, that makes a difference.
Yeah, well, you say ladies, they have come out with a pink version, so
yeah,
it's unisex, they say, but
that 38mm is going to wear large, without a shadow of a doubt. There's so much dial real estate there, and not enough of it is taken up with dial furniture, even though it's got a sub-seconds. Yeah, look, Czapek are high end. This doesn't do them any favors. Just it's the first time I've seen the watch, I'll be honest with you, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar sort of reaction from me, actually. Not as well articulated as Ben, but just looking at I don't know, the patterns on the dial are a little bit funky, and I'm not too sure what they're trying to do with the sub-seconds with the lines going around it. Like, I don't know. It's just an interesting piece.
It looks a bit like a zebra's eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I really was just gonna say that.
Love that description, Ben.
Yeah, not tugging at my heartstrings, this one.
No,
not tugging the heartstrings. We'll get a did chat one then. Okay. Sticking with wavy dials, the Bethune.
Ooh.
Purple DB28XS Purple Rain. This is heat-treated titanium dial with what Bethune calls random guilloché pattern that's horizontal with tiny gold dots, similar to the Stradivarius model, this is a follow-up to. Intricate guilloché pattern is entirely random, but it's blatantly symmetrical across the axis of the dial. We've fancied this Bethune. I'm not. I don't like it. The purple, it's just a purple color. Too much for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that thing, man.
Really?
I think the color of the case, it's so unique, and with the dial, everything just works together for me for this watch. And the dial, see how deep the patterns are. Like, it just looks like you're staring out into the ocean at nighttime or something. That's the vibe I'm getting off this one.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm digging this watch a lot.
it just really makes me smile, that watch.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, nobody does anything like the Bethune. They are out on a tangent out of this world, and like that purple, that's heat treated to achieve that purple effect. It's just real shallow dial. All the elements are different, but it's still cohesive. Bloody crown at 12 o'clock. It's just berserk. The watch is berserk, but like you gotta have to hand it to them.
$99,000 on release. This was
it's fantasy land.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Big personality and big wallet to buy this watch.
Yeah.
It's really large, right? The lug system is quite elongated.
Yeah.
So, have you a diameter on this one, Tom?
I haven't. No. I have to go back to the article.
It's at least 45, right?
What don't you like about it, Tom? Is it just the color is too much for you?
Just the color of the case. The color of the case. I like the dial, but it's just the fact that they've made it monochrome. You know, it's just well, not monochrome. That's black and white, but
one color. Yeah,
one color throughout. Yeah.
Mm.
What's the other saying? Good luck selling a pre-owned Bethune, that's for sure. Yeah.
How do they perform on a secondary market? They tank, I presume, do they?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm with the watch apprentice. I like the design, but not the color. Yeah. And he's saying, please up for guys. Thank you. Thank you, Watch Apprentice. Very kind of you. So move on. We've got quite a few to get through. And carry on the wave dial theme again. The Grand Seiko Armo Atari hand-wound spring drive. This dial apparently pays tribute to the frozen waters of Lake Sewer. It still has a look of a sort of wave dial to me in the elegance case. I really like this one. Love it. It's got the power reserve on the back, so there's no power reserve like the Snowflake. Love that textured dial. It was probably stamped dial, but yeah, really like it. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I love that watch, man.
Yeah.
I love it. The color's
gorgeous.
Great. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. The case design, the finishing, just everything about that watch just screams class, you know?
Yeah. It's so elegant.
Yeah.
And if you could do this in rose gold or yellow gold, it even ramps up that elegance even more. Do you know what I noticed about Grand Seikos recently? They do it on this watch. The cap, the second hands. I only saw this in a forum. I didn't realize. You see the center of the second hands? There's a small cap on it, and it just takes some of the roughness away from it. But they only do it on some watches, and I can't seem to figure out why they do it on some and not on others.
You mean like to cover the pinion? You mean in the middle, right in the middle there, Ben? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
That's exactly it. You see the silver center? It's a perfect circle.
Yep.
It's like a little hubcap on the pinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tobes is saying he prefers the version on the bracer, the SBGY 013, I think. Very cool, only 10 mil thick. Yeah, I mean, I think we generally like this watch all around. So, yeah, big hit. £7,900, so it's pretty pricey.
£7,900.
Yeah.
Expensive, okay.
A lot of money. I saw this one yesterday. I tried it on, so I thought I took it in. This is the Patek Racer GMT. Definitely a wave dial. So wave dials are a huge trend at the moment. What do you think to this one as a wave dial?
I think,
Fan?
I think when you posted the real life picture in the chat the other day, Tom, and it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I thought when seeing the real life picture looked fantastic. Yeah, I've seen a few of these wave dials just in the pictures, like the blue ones mainly. I think they look great. Actually, the dial is really cool. No, I don't know about look at those the indices. They're what are they? Octagonal, maybe, I think.
Yeah, they look 6-sided, don't they? Yeah.
1,
1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
7.
8.
Is it? 1, 2, 3.
8-sided. 1, 2.
Yeah, it's 8. It's 8. All right, good. It looks kind of like it looks like it's trying to be jewelry, though. I feel like. Imagine in the sunlight, you're seeing reflections off those little things. They'd look like little sort of stars or something. I feel like it would be a bit too jewel like. It's a bit too cute, I reckon, that part. But the actual wave dial itself is nothing to hate there.
One problem I had with it was the GMT hand is green as well on the as the dial, and you can't distinguish GMT time very well. Not very legible.
Yep.
It should have been a different color, but I guess they're blending into the dial color. And says he likes the tag, just not a fan of the Cyclops at 6. Yeah, I get that.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I reckon it's cool.
I was going to say that makes it really cool. Very unique.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements going on there. Like the bezel's a dodecahedron, and the indices are octagonal. And there's circles. There's trapezoids, whatever you call them.
Yeah. It's like a fucking geometry lesson, mate. This one.
Yeah.
They should give
I'm
it to
fucking
you.
struggling to find words from the depths of fucking secondary school here.
When you're in year 10 geometry class, they give you this and say, name all the shapes. That's the exam.
If they could give you some blocks now, you can try and squeeze them through the holes.
So last of the wave dials, this one's my favorite, I think. Coming in at £3,590, which is had a price hike recently, but it's anodane, and Vitreous enamel dial method is anodane's most ambitious and collaborative watch today. Was started as a curved block of ash, they say. It's texture translated into enamel through high technology and traditional methods of craft practices. Tested over 10 different enamel powders to find the ones that worked best, and the texture finally landed on 2 colors, aqua and lichen. And yeah, I just love this texture. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in on it. No, it doesn't let me zoom in on that. No. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful watch. Enamel dial.
Yeah, that's a cracker. Love that one. Real cool.
Yeah, agreed, Tom. Beautiful. Kind of a bit of a hypocrite now because, as I was saying earlier, I'm not a big fan of big dials with little dial furniture, but the texture on this is so cool. The colors are so cool, and the hands are so well done. And there is enough bezel there. And the lugs are really cool and unique. It just hangs together really well. That's a beauty.
Yeah, really nice.
Oh, I love those hands. My God, I'm getting the feels here.
Yeah, I'm on the list for one. So my build window is 2028. Wow. So the wait list is about 4 years for
2028.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Mate, you'll be over it by then.
Yeah, I probably will. But I've already paid a £500 deposit, so I'll lose that if I don't buy the watch.
Yeah.
So,
what is the wait time generally for those, Tom?
4 years.
4 year. Okay, all right. So you only went on it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Could get one for my 50th.
So move from Wave down to Guilloché now, and Breguet Classic 7727 small seconds power reserve. Abraham Louis Breguet was the first to introduce Guilloché decoration to watch dials, and Breguet still produces dials as they were done historically, hand turning the gold dials on a cutting machine called a rose engine. All of Breguet's Guilloché dials are created in this fashion, respecting handcrafted traditions, and they decorate their rotors in the same way. And this is a prime example of the different patterns that they get on them. Wavy patterns, circular patterns, lovely different Guilloché. I mean, Breguet are the masters of engine turning, I think.
Yep.
What do we think of this?
So cool. So cool, Guilloché work. Yeah, if you're going to get a Guilloché, Breguet is definitely one of the best, if not the best, to get like an excellent handmade Guilloché, machine turned.
Yes, the watch printers says.
This is just like them showing off, really, how their techniques and what they can do. So yeah, this sort of like this particular piece, I feel like it's exemplifying Breguet and their mastery of the craft. So it's super cool piece. Love it.
Welcome, Edward. Hope you're doing well.
How
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Edward. Hello.
Yeah, I'm a huge Breguet fan, massive Breguet fan. I'm as we all know, I'm in a debacle of wondering whether to sell my Kermit to buy Breguet, but I'm only holding on to it because of sentimental reasons. But yeah, I don't need Breguet in my life desperately. Desperately.
But it's interesting though, Tom. The Breguet that you like is pretty much a flat.
It's an enamel dial. Yeah.
Not doesn't have any of the Guilloché treatment on it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But
so that.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're saying?
No, I was just going to say, like, for you and your predicament, it sort of depends on which watch, I guess, you feel like you're going to get more wear out of.
Yeah.
Because the Kermit's just sitting in the bank safe, right? It's not really doing anything. It's just sitting there, going up and down in value. Whereas you could be putting that money into something that you might wear and get more enjoyment out of.
Yeah.
That's probably the way to look at it.
Yeah, and just to second that, but also you're going from a mass-produced, factory made hype watch to the founders of the whole thing, like Breguet numerals, Breguet hands, tourbillons, engine turning. You're getting like Breguet's. It's next level stuff. I don't like giving unsolicited advice, but do it.
I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do now.
So another Guilloché dial, the Garrick ST Deadbeat Seconds. This watch is available with different dial options. One is this vibrate Guilloché dial. 19,000 quid. What do you think of this?
Oh.
I mean, the Breguet was £44,000, but what do you think of this? What do you think of this dial on this Garrick?
I think these are piece uniques, though. Are they? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm familiar enough with the brand from they're a UK or an English brand as well, similar to Fears. But I think they custom make these watches to order. I might be wrong. I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Bill disagrees.
Bill disagrees with everything. He's pretty negative in the chat. Yeah.
I feel like the tourbillon though, it sort of upsets the dial. You know what I mean? Like you've got this textured dial, which is really, really cool.
I'm not sure whether it's a tourbillon, to be honest with you. I think it's just the mainspring, the handspring.
That's just the balance wheel, is it? Okay, whatever the fuck it is, it's just ruining the. For me, it's just, I don't know. I would have it's cool seeing it there. I'm a bit torn between. Oh, look, if it's not a tourbillon, then if it's just the balance, then yeah, I would rather just have the dial. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit of a philistine, but yeah.
You can buy watches like this in TK Maxx, can't you, with that bridge and balance?
Yeah, that's right. It does ruin it, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, I'm with you on that, GCB. Don't like the opening of the balance wheel.
So you don't like this one? Okay. Well, we've got an Abdul special coming up now.
Abdul special.
An Abdul special, yeah. He's now
Be careful now, it's marked up. It's marked up.
He's now in charge of this company, in charge of orders. Lyrique, the Etude number 2, UK GPHG nominee. Was it this year, Abdul?
Yeah,
well, last year.
Last year, yeah.
Last year. Yeah, the Lyrique Etude number 2 Guilloché. 29,000 Swiss francs. So what do you think to the Guilloché on this? Yeah. Well, I think if you're in the club and you got one through Bill Sanders and you were an investor in got one from the start, it would have been cheaper. But I think this is the sort of what they're estimating the resale value.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay, I thought it was 39K was the entry ticket to actually get one, but
no.
Okay.
I think they're under 10K.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought they were under 10. Yeah.
Exactly. Around 10,000 francs is the buy-in if you start from the start. You know, if you've one of their locations. We had one actually done in pink. That was sold in the New York Gala for funding a watchmaker, or part of a funding for a young watchmaker. And it got around $20,000 with the pink dial. But the whole idea is that the dial is from Comblemine, Voutilainen and Caitlin. The case is Voutilainen and Caitlin. The hands are from Friedler. The movement is in Agenor. They made our own movement. So basically, this is the 6801, the movement that we done with Agenor. So basically, you're getting a very customized watch.
Yeah, it's full custom. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, if you can get the movement picture, Tom, because that's also one of the big points in this watch. Why we do this watch is this collaboration with Agenor, because they're one of the best, if not the best, movement maker in my opinion.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's quite hard to see the Guilloché on that photo, isn't it? It's like a circular.
It's like a circular one, yeah. And we had in this one, we had a couple of people that wanted other colors, so we ended up of having now blue, golden, pink, and this burgundy one. So we had like special editions within the 100 allocations that we had.
Yeah. So it's nice. I mean, you're in charge of the Etude number 4, aren't you? Which is the one I want, but can't afford. Which is going to be the jump hour one.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Really beautiful.
But here's Guilloché on a budget, which is the a tier 1 perception. Made in the workshop of Chen Yu Kai, who's China's first master Guilloché craftsman. The straightforward and curved lines of the fish scale pattern is a celebration of light and shadow, they say. Hand turned on a rose engine, dial takes 8 hours to produce. And you can see him working on it here. It's quite a nice dial. I quite like it. It says £2,530, so a lot less than the 44,000 for the Breguet, and a lot less than the Lyrique and the Garrick. But if you can get over the fact that it's from China, what do you think? What do we think? Not convinced.
I'm not crazy about the Nautilus derivative K-shape.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it just looks like a mashup of a whole actual ton of different watches, though. Like you've got the Vacheron 222 style bracelet.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing I thought was this is like another one of those things like what we saw with the Seiko a minute ago, where you mash together all these different brands. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm just not feeling this at all, man.
Yeah.
Built it looks like a Christopher Ward watch.
Yeah, like the Chinese, they're going to have quite an uphill battle against that perception, because there's no doubt about it. Like they are building up such a huge knowledge of everything watch related, from working with all the various brands, and they're going to produce some exceptional watches in the years to come. But
I agree.
Yeah, they're going to find it difficult to get a competitive edge amongst the Swiss and the Japanese.
Yeah.
This doesn't do them any favors, though. It needs to be unique. Seiko will probably. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm just stream of consciousnness now.
You're right, Ben, because the seagull movement has been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And the key thing is that because the seagull movement is obviously it's not as robust as the Swiss movements and the Japanese movements, but the seagull movement is still able to take watches to a basic level, which is why it keeps the costs low. But given this perception branding, which they're calling this the Dandong SL 1588 automatic movement, there isn't enough runtime or use cases for us to determine if it's actually able to, meet the same standards as Swiss and Japanese watches.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. There is a lot of. There's always backlash. It's a Chinese movement, but I think it will always be there because sometimes I have owned seagull movements before, and sometimes the QC isn't really there yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but they seem to be the ones that are coming out with the tourbillons for good value, and I think they might be the brand that actually breaks through those barriers.
It remains to be seen. It remains to be
seen.
Yeah.
Interesting times. As the Chinese say themselves, may you live in interesting times.
Yeah, both as the Chinese are supplying the Swiss with their parts, of course they'll build quality watches in time.
Yeah, 100%, Bill. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point, Bill. Yeah, so if you don't want to pay for, if you think that's too rubbish and you don't want to pay for real engine turning, you can always go for a stamped Guilloché on a much cheaper budget. Available in different colorways. It's Edward Christopher Manta, which is a British brand. Edward Christopher, £875. I think it looks okay. Got quite a nice dial pan to it, different colors, fashiony watch. I quite like it. I saw a British Watchmakers Day last year, and it's.
What is with the name Edward Christopher? They're homaging a homage brand.
I know that. How much?
It's two like first names. Like it's Edward Christopher. Where is the last name? What is the
Edward Christopher Jones.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like a Rolex.
Yeah. Or the run flank or the Elanga. You have like a special one. Maybe this is the special from the Christopher Ward. The Edward Christopher, the precursor to Christopher Ward.
Yeah, it's Aldi's version of a Christopher Ward.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get off this one.
That was
We'll
a great
move-
plot, Thomas. For shits and giggles.
Yeah,
Edward
we'll
Christopher Ward.
move on market now. We'll get well. This is the who's it's got this watch? Russell, the Russell 996 watch. And this is probably my favorite. Well, it is my favorite Patek. The 5178G minute repeater. This watch steps up a step further from Guilloché to a technique called flanqué. The white gold dial plate is a finely hand guilloché with a swirling pattern before being coated with translucent enamel. So you got guilloché, then layers of enamel on top to give it that beautiful blued pattern. And simply stunning. It's just that's next level. But you're paying £440,000 for it.
I think Russ said earlier when we started the show he was actually wearing the watch.
He's wearing it, yeah, he's wearing it, yeah.
Yeah, so just a big fuck you, Russ. I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's all I have to say.
Oh god,
This is a baller watch.
it's a baller watch.
Yeah.
Just look at it. It's amazing.
I feel so inadequate right now.
Yeah. Like there are types of watches that if you look at them at a glance, they seem simple. And then when you start looking into them more and more and zoom in, then you see the intricacy. Then you see the where all the cost of this watch is made. Of course, not all, but you see that you understand the idea, the beauty of this concept, the simple but elegant and excellence. Yeah. Wear it in great health, Ross.
Yeah, well done. Is that platinum or white gold? White gold.
Tell us, Russ, is it platinum? I think it is platinum. Yeah.
No, I think it's a G, isn't it? So I think it'll be.
It's a G, yeah. It's that white gold. White gold.
Yeah.
The case is beautiful. It's really beautiful as
Isn't it
well.
amazing?
On top of the and the strap and it's
Yeah. White gold, Russell says.
the whole combo is
Yep.
chef's kiss.
Yeah, congratulations on this piece, Russell. You're a baller. Absolute baller. Absolute baller. I mean, this is my favorite Patek, and mini repeat is my favorite complication.
Yeah, it's pretty much like
Bill
pretty
says
much
you should.
perfection. What is wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it.
Bill says you should get a date for that kind of money, but I think a mini repeater. I think for mini repeater. I think mini repeater is slightly better complication than a date, Bill.
Yeah. You can wear a Casio on the other arm, and you can have the date, functions, everything, alarm.
And CB saying, Russell, I'm second rate, not like you, the first choice, but they finally confirmed April delivery. Congratulations, CB, getting a Patek. Nice one.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
You're in the club. You're in the club.
I like your Constantine Chaikin avatar.
Yeah, he's got a baller collection of CB.
Okay.
Yeah.
He owns that watch too? Yeah, I love it.
And of course, we've got the man named it after the brand himself, Patek Philippe, and
Benji.
he was saying the Dresden Semper Opera clock was put in because too many folks were bringing minute repeaters and interrupting the show with chimes. Is that the Dresden clock? The Patek Zeitwerk is copied after Patel. That'd be interesting. So we'll move on to a few different designs. This is one you brought up the JCB. Sorry.
What did I bring up?
The Arnold and Son Perpetual Moon from 2022. Arnold and Son introduced new versions of the Perpetual Moon featuring typical giant moon and a new decorative dial pattern known as the Stellar Rays, made by engraving rays of different depths and widths, enhanced by several layers of transparent lacquer. So a bit like the last watch with the engraved design and then transparent lacquer on it, or coloured lacquer. But really nice watches. I love this sort of style of design. Really nice.
Yeah, they brought out this big moon phase design a little while ago, which is kind of interesting because you always see the moon phase is always really small on a watch. So I thought it was cool that they actually brought out a big one. And obviously they also brought out that, I think it's the Magna Luna or whatever, the one with the actual little moon that's a little marble in the dial, which does a totally different watch. But yeah, they're doing cool moon phase watches. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like with Arnold and Son is another one. It's a brand that doesn't get much love at all. Like no one really talks about this brand at all, but they're doing really cool stuff. And particularly with dials, I think they're doing some really cool textured dials. This is just one of the examples that I thought we'd just throw up and have a look at. There's a whole ton of other ones that they do. This one's actually not in my favorite one, but yeah, just worth having. I think if you're into textures, worth having a look into the Arnold catalog and seeing if there's something there that you like.
Yeah, lovely design, lovely texture. Yeah. We'll move on to Chopard and their XPS, which a friend of ours has, doesn't he, Ben?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is the Monte Rosa pink on brass blank with stamped to the sunburst pattern. I thought this was hammered, but this is actually stamped. But it's stunning dial, this one. I absolutely love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. One of the best integrated sports models for me. And this is limited edition, I think, with the salmon dial, this XPS. Am I right in saying that? There's something special about it anyway.
Yeah, it's limited, yeah.
Yeah. I just think this is up there with your Royal Oaks, your Laureatos, your VCs. I just think it's the overseas. I just think it's really, really beautiful. A friend of ours owns one. It's obviously even more beautiful. I know that bracelet jars with some of our other panel members, but to me, I love the bracelet. I think it's what makes it uniquely Chopard. It separates them from the other integrated sports models. Just the execution and finishing is up there with, the best, the holy trinity of Swiss watchmaking.
Yeah. Any other opinions on this?
Is this a different version of the watch with the small seconds in the middle? I feel like the original one didn't have that. And
this is the original.
This is the original? So it always had that. Okay.
I think so. I think it is anyway.
Okay. I felt like the original, one version, the picture that I have in my head, it doesn't have a small second, so you get the full sort of pattern on the dial.
Maybe it is. I did a search, and this was the one that came up. Maybe the original doesn't have.
It doesn't. Whatever. It's not a major point. It's just
it's thinner. The XPS is thinner, from what I can remember. It's thinner than the regular Alpine Eagle.
Yeah, but the Alpine Eagle dial has always been something really cool and unique. I think it's yeah, I'm with Ben. You know, I think it's up there. A really cool watch. Definitely like this one as well with this salmon color. Real cool.
This is my favorite Alpine Eagle. A lot of them, when you go to the shop, at Standard Watches and Wonders, blinged out to the max, and they're horrible.
Rainbow bezels.
Yeah, rainbow jewelry, and they're just jewelry watches. But
I think you might be right, actually, JCB. I'm just looking at some of the blue Alpine Eagle here. There's definitely, and the grey ones. I think the originals came without small seconds.
Yeah, and so
I think you could be right, JCB. Yeah.
Well, the point of it was that the watch is called the Alpine Eagle because the dial texturing is supposed to be like the eagle's eye, right? And
yes.
So when you've got that uniform across the dial, it's really cool. And then when you fuck it up with the small seconds, it just ruins that uniformity that you're getting from the.
It's a similar type thing with the power reserve on a Grand Seiko.
Yeah. Look, minor gripe, but otherwise, cool piece.
Well, the XPS is like twice the cost of a regular Alpine Eagle.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So move on to Cloisonné dials now, and the classic is the Patek 5231G World Time. For the maps of the world on the dial, Patek used Grand Faux Cloisonné enamel dials, and they mark the outline of the continents and countries with a thin gold wire, then fill the compartments of various enamel colours, reproducing the oceans and land masses, while repeatedly firing the enamel dial play at high temperatures in a kiln. Our friend Jamie Opulent has one of these.
Of course he does. Fucking prick.
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. I'm so jealous. That is just wow. Just hitting Jamie. I'm just really jealous.
This is East Asia and Oceania, this one. This map. They do different maps of the world, but you can see the work that's gone into that. £81,000 it's go for.
It's not bad.
I like that one too because it's got Australia on the world map as well.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And given JCB's approval and blessing, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. What did they call the technique again, Tom?
Cloisonné. Cloisonné. So you take you take really tiny thin gold wires and you shape the shapes that you want out of the wires, and then you fill within those the liquid enamel, and then you fire that up to set the enamel. So super tricky, very, very, very hard thing to do, like from a skill point of view. And then also, I think during the manufacturing process, there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of wastage because you get breakage, and it's not a fully foolproof manufacturing technique, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm having an emotional reaction to that. Just that picture of that watch. Genuinely, that is just next level.
Rolex did some fun Cloisonné in the past. That's interesting, Patel. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I always associated the technique with Pateks do a kind of an exclusive art style range. They had an F1 or a racing one and a bird one, I think, as far as, or maybe I might be
Patek Philippe saying, did you see the Patek Cloisonné in the Rare Handicrafts last year?
Rare Handicrafts, that's exactly the
Rare Handicrafts. We went to that exhibition in London last year, and they're the Rare Handicrafts. I mean, Russell owns another Patek Rare Handicrafts with a racing car going around Lake Geneva, and he's got loads of. He's a Patek VIP. So he's got loads. He's got another one, the Rare Handicrafts Cloisonné dials, but yeah,
I think I saw a Cloisonné Rolex. on a really old antiques roadshow going back to the 70s. There came up on my YouTube, and it was very cool, very rare.
Yeah, they're a nice racing car.
Yeah, the
holders
racing
from-
car is the one that stood out to me. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah. So move a bit down market now. From Patek.
I'm gonna have a massive calm down now, Tom.
Tapisserie dials, and what you're a fan of, Ben? The PRX. This watch is what's described as an embossed waffle-like pattern with a sunbrushed effect, and I refer to this style as tapisserie, though, like the Royal Oak. £745 on a bracelet, or $675. So it's less in America than it is in the UK. But yeah, it's a nice watch.
Yeah, look, it's right at the other end of the spectrum. This is right at the entry level affordable range for an integrated bracelet sports watch, and that's what's commendable about it. Really, you get a hell of a lot for the money in it. I think they've done a great job. You could pay a little bit more, get a Christopher Ward. You might get a bit more again. The Citizen one is cost less, but you probably get a bit less. This is somewhere in the middle, well executed, good watch. But like, I can't wax lyrical about this one. Haven't seen what we've just seen. It's at the polar end of the watch spectrum. Stamped. They obviously make millions and millions of these in the factory, as opposed to something being a rare handcraft from Patek Philippe. It pales in comparison. But in terms of a budget, good looking watch, respectable in the boardroom or a sports watch, it's a really, really well executed, affordable option.
Mikey Casio GTS says he'd rather pay the couple of hundred more for the carbon version.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Oh, Russell's just saying about the Lake Geneva car piece is Cloisonné enamel and Pioneer enamel with micro enamel painting. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you're moving into an entirely other realm.
It's a different sphere, isn't it? Yeah, a different sphere.
And as Patek Philippe says in the comments there, that one artisan there bending the wires, so it's proper.
Yeah.
It's an art form. Really stunning stuff.
Yeah. So you like this, but you're a bit underwhelmed after seeing the Patek.
Oh, it's a massive calm down. I need a drink.
They need a cigarette.
Yeah.
We'll stick with Cloisonné and tapisserie, and go with the Royal Oak 15500. This watch is the iconic Guilloché that we've come to appreciate on the Royal Oak, and within the form of charismatic grand tapisserie pattern that the PRX and others copy. And do you like this one more, or would you rather have the PRX on a budget, Ben?
He's going to be right back, I think, Tom.
What do you think then, JCB? What's your thoughts on this?
Oh, look, I mean, this is the granddaddy. The dial on this watch just set the trend for everyone, right? This what are they? I think you said grand tapisserie. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the OG, man. Like it's AP. This is just when you think of AP, for me, I think of this dial, it's just it's a banger, man. You can't mess with the Royal Oak. It's the granddaddy.
Have to agree with you, JCB, on that. This AP is really just, it's the icon, it's the signature. Yeah. It's the one piece that when you see in grey market shops, it stands out above all the other APs, because this is really the one. We talk about APs with Royal Oak with a rubber seal and all, but this guy doesn't have that rubber seal. the rubber on the crown and all those things. So realistically,
Yeah, you
this
mean like the
AP
offshore and all that.
Yes,
stuff.
thank you.
All those. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh,
this
fuck
AP
all that.
is realistically, it's not just holding its value well, its signature look, and
Yeah.
and this has to say Gerald Genta influence on it as well. So it's really one piece that's like it's one watch to rule them all, kind of like rule the APs. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, I think he's after one of these watches, saying 37mm Rolex is wonderful. One day, maybe. Good to see you, Muhammad.
What do you think of APs, Thomas? What are your thoughts? I feel like you're not gonna like this watch.
Yeah, it's okay. A bit too hypey for me. I don't really go with the hype too much. I think the Americans bash on about the Rolex so much that the people on the streams, mainly the Americans out here, they're like, the Royal Oak is the grail watch you've got to have. It's the watch you got to have. It's a get out of my way watch. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You start with Rolex, then you surpass Rolex, and you go to AP, and that's where it's at, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I just get sick of hearing it, to be honest with you, because you don't start Rolex. You start your average Joe starts at a cheaper brand, when they get into watches, and not everyone starts at Rolex, and not everyone can afford an AP. It's not because they can't afford one. It's just that there's so many more watches I would buy for the money. I'd rather have a Vacheron 222 than 921 than a Royal Oak. But they're totally different watches. They're totally different looks of watches for the same price. I mean.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big AP was in America. Like
massive.
Man, AP is like, you're exactly right. Like over there, it's like, oh, you go from Rolex and then you go to AP. Like I feel like that's a real Americanism. Like that doesn't really exist anywhere else in the world. But America is like the biggest market, so it's like you got to take that into consideration. Like like AP is it's a big brand over there. So.
There are streams that talk about nothing apart from Rolex, AP mainly, and a bit of Patek, and it's all every other stream is AP Royal Oak, AP Royal Oak, AP Royal Oak, and it gets tiring. It gets tiring.
I'm with you. I get it. I've sort of gone through the hype. I've gone through hype now. I've gone through that stage of not I don't care about hype anymore. Like I look at the watch, I'm like, and if the watch is cool, then I can get on board with thinking about getting one. You know what I mean? Like, because think about that. What made the Royal Oak so good was the fact that it is so good. Do you know what I mean? Like the design was, like it's popular for a reason, and it's become popular because of all of that stuff. So that's why it's hyped. So I can sort of get past all that shit now and think, oh yeah, I can get an AP. That's pretty cool. Not that I would, but you know what I mean? Like hype doesn't weigh into my consciousness anymore.
Yeah. Just to share with you, JCB and Thomas, I mean, what you both say have a lot of wisdom in it. And the fact of the matter remains is that both Rolex and Audemars Piguet AP are both flex brands. This is meant to be, if you see someone wearing it and they sort of dress a bit funny. Sometimes in Singapore, you get people wearing shorts, really short shorts, and they wear Rolex. It seems like there's a, what do you call that? Fashion malfunction or wardrobe malfunction. It looks weird. I mean, if you're dressing so well, it's only a golden big watch. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, the same goes for people in the chats who have bags. They go for Chanel and all that. I mean, just a quick sharing. me and the missus went to Chanel, and we felt that the people inside there were just like, they're not serving. They're just like, there are lots of staff, but they weren't coming to serve you. They were just all over the place. So when we look at big name brands and Rolex and all that, we go in there, and my missus went in with me, and they were like asking my missus, "Are you with him?" Of course she's with me. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is a brand that's supposed to be top notch. You're asking such silly questions, you know. To me, I find that these brands have actually lost touch with what is good customer service. You know, it's just, oh, sell, sell, sell. Yeah, it's not about customer service anymore. And just to add on, I did hear that the AP post-service sales support is not that brilliant. This is from 4 variable sources in the watch community. Yeah.
Well, the AP are just so hard to get into. They're apparently they're boutiques. You know, it's like joining the club. You know, it's but the club you can't get into. I mean, talking about AP, here's another one. This is a sunburst tapisserie dial on the Royal Oak Extra Thin Fabian. Came out in 2018, but this is 124,000 Swiss francs in steel, or in gold. In gold, it's 153,000 Swiss francs. But it's the difference to the tapisserie dial. It's a sunburst dial. So
sunburst tapisserie.
Yeah, sunburst tapisserie.
Yeah.
So this is Guilloché as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not just one dial design, the Royal Oak. They do different dial designs.
Yep.
I can't pull that up, designer today. Sorry, I've got so many tabs open. If someone wants. So I mean, there's that Sunray dial, and there's Zenith had a go at Sunray dial themselves, which was this one, which wasn't as well executed. A cheaper version for $57,000 dollars. Zenith Defy Skyline Tourbillon. Yeah.
Okay, fucking hell.
Not very nice, is it?
I don't. Yeah, I'd say that like that but that pattern just doesn't really work very well. Like it's just not, you know, like it doesn't look. It's just not pleasing to the eye. The actual pattern on the dial.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Zenith with very rare exceptions, they just don't really hit the mark 100%. I feel like with their watches, there's always something you can nitpick. You know what I mean? There's a couple of exceptions, like the Zenith you've got, Tom, is just one of those exceptions. It's just pretty much a perfect watch, but overall with Zenith, there's just always something you can pick on. They just don't quite nail them for me.
Yeah, I mean this Sunray design I prefer out of all the AP and Zenith that we've seen. This Czapek Promenade again.
Oh yeah.
We featured the new Promenade with a pleated dial, limited edition, and this is the original release from Watches and Wonders 2024 with the Guilloché Soleil dial, crafted by Metalem. I really like this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. This one's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice, man. And that dark blue, that's cool.
Really nice, I think.
Yeah.
You're always a fan of the dark blue ones, are you, Jay?
I'm pretty predictable, eh? You know where I'm gonna go, Tom. But yeah, that's cool, man. That's killer, that watch. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. I like this one.
18,800 Swiss francs.
Oh,
Pretty good, I
shit.
think. Pretty good for Czapek. With the, it's got the Antarctic movement in it. So.
Okay, yeah. Has Czapek have they taken off as a brand, or are they still a bit lukewarm? You know, going back about 5 years, I had a prediction that they were going to be really big. You know, I felt like they were sort of the next big thing, but they haven't really taken off. Yes, CB can't. A lot of people, I don't know, not maybe can't stand them, but I sort of felt like they were going to be like a really big brand, but they just haven't seemed to have gotten there.
Morning, Joe B. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Bafaris. Good to see you.
Hey, Faris.
Okay, so you cast on Czapek CB. What do you think of this one? This is a bit of a an out there watch, bit of a off the wall one of our in. This is a mother of pearl coloured dial, Citizen Series 8, which has the dial has a sort of gauze with triangular holes in it, which is used to sandwich a mother of pearl coloured dial. Bit wacky. Don't know whether you call it a dial.
I really wanted to like this watch when it came out. I remember when it came out thinking, oh, this is something cool, something new from Citizen. You know, dial's really interesting. But there's a couple of little things about it that put me off, like the Series 8 on the dial, like the text, the crown guards. Again, it's another one where I just nitpick this watch. And I'm just like, nah, wouldn't get that.
No. What about Abdul? You're our Citizen man.
I like Citizen, but I don't understand the watch. You know, like, why sandwich a mother of pearl dial? You know, like, why? What's the use of sandwiching it in the middle? Maybe a loomed dial I would understand. So you have like this pattern, and the rest is loomed. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think maybe to give it a pattern, Abdul. Maybe to give it like some shape. Because if it was just all mother of pearl, then it would, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're trying to give it that patterned look by sandwiching it. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the gold with the black and the mother of pearl. Somehow it's not. For me.
Yeah, I agree, Abdul. Like with the maybe if they had to use silver indices and hands or stainless steel, it might have been a bit more cohesive. But yeah, it's a mishmash of all sorts of colors. Is that a carbon case or just PVD coated?
I don't know actually.
Nah, just steel, man. It's not carbon. It's not
Okay.
carbon. I think it's, and also around, like there's so much going on here, like around the minute track as well, like the minute track, the indices, and then the dial. There's just so much going. Maybe it's too much. There's just too much going on, I think.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I'm not offended by the gauze and the mother of pearl behind. I actually quite like the look.
Yeah, when you see the real life pictures, it actually looks not bad. Actually, like it's not bad. But I think when you consider all the watch as a whole, with all these little things going on, I think it's just there's too much going on.
Yeah, there's too much. Agreed.
Because I remember that came out going, fuck, this is cool. Like Citizen actually bringing out something cool. It's like a nice new watch, but I feel like it fell over in a few places. Yeah.
So you like the last of sorry, YTK, go on.
Oh, sorry. So the Series 8 for Citizen, they came out. I would applaud Citizen for being creative, coming up with a Series 8 automatic, because we always think about it's their eco drive system. When we talk about Citizen, we always think about eco drive. So the shift towards automatic is a good it's a good thing. The one gripe that I do have to say, aside from the looks and everything, is the pricing itself for these entire Series 8, because they are rather pricey in terms of it. If you really look at the pricing from different models, it varies. In Singapore, it costs about $2,806.75 just for the mechanical, the one that you featured, Thomas. Yeah, I call it the Rainbow Citizen Series 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So we like the last of Bethune. People generally like last of Bethune. What do we think of this one? The DBD Season 2 digital display. Its burgundy dial is decorated with vertical Geneva stripes, creating many services. Apparently not a watch to read at a glance. The dial looks rather severe in poor lighting, one review said. Although the wallpaper-ish or carpet-like look of the dial is the main focus of a quite good-looking watch, I think. I quite like it.
It's very Art Deco, isn't it? Straight out of the school of Art Deco.
You're not a fan, Abdul?
No, I like it. I like the Art Deco style.
All right.
I'm a big fan of the jump outs, the Paul Weber, the Zeitwerk, this one, DB Digitale, all these different variations. I'm a big fan. I just would change the color. Somehow it's not working for me, this deep red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like there's too much dial. Maybe the apertures need to be a little bit bigger in some places. Maybe if they had have increased the hour aperture to make that one a bit bigger, maybe. But it feels like one of those examples of, we've got so much dial and not enough dial furniture, as Ben would say.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I saw it first too.
Hi, underachieving. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So we think this is too small of a readout and too much dial on this one. Fair enough.
I don't want to see jewels on the dial either. I presume that's what they are, left and right of the big date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave those on the back. There's 3 jewels there, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So got some waffle dials. The classic being the old day date. This one's they call ice blue with a glacier motif. To me, I'd call it a waffle style dial, to be honest with you.
Is this the one? Does Gary
the gangster? He has this one. Yeah. Gary
so you would have seen this one in real life.
This one at the Bro House. Yeah.
How was it in real life?
Beautiful. Yeah. I much preferred it to the ice blue with Roman numeral day date, platinum day date. Day date 40. This is platinum day date 40. The 228206. 45,955 used on eBay. So I think it's now discontinued, this one, the waffle dial. But it's stunner, absolute stunner. Really nice. You can see the dial a bit better here.
Yeah, you can see better there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man, you can't beat a platinum day date with a nice blue dial. Like, come on, man. Fuck yeah, no.
I agree. I can't not like that. It's just such a baller watch.
Yeah, that's just ball of it. No, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, DB says discontinued. I think the best platinum day date made so far.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, some Rolex experts will be able to tell me. I feel like with platinum, they shifted now from a smooth bezel to a fluted bezel. I think platinum anyway, right? Platinum was always like, how do we differentiate the platinum from the regular, I don't know, maybe the white gold one? So they made platinum was always smooth bezel. So if you knew, you knew, right? If you saw a day date with a smooth bezel, you knew it was a platinum one. But then they changed it maybe I'm going to say 2 or 3 years ago to fluted bezel for the platinum. So yeah, just a little point, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know that. The big indicator of a platinum Rolex for me was always the ice blue dial.
The ice blue, yeah.
Yeah. So we all love that day. I think pretty much all around.
Yeah.
I think it's a beauty. And another waffle dial, which some may not call a waffle dial. It's the dark grey matte dial with a hand Guilloché barleycorn motif on it. This Parmigiani Tonda PF micro rotor. I'll probably put it in the waffle dial look again though, because it's got this barleycorn motif.
That's what they call it, barleycorn, right?
Barleycorn, yeah. The size of the pan has been reduced to the max, so the watch retains elegance from a distance while being detailed up close. Very nice, I think. You can see really up close there, so it's not quite waffle, and that's the barleycorn pan. So it's more like a wavy sort of pan, but I would call this a waffle dial, to be honest with you.
I've never seen it up close like that before. It looks cool actually when you see it like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've seen it more from a distance, like in the photos, and I always thought it looked weird and underwhelming, but when you see it there, that pattern looks actually really cool.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. These watches, like if you're in the market for these seem to be tanking on the secondary market at the moment. Parmigiani Fleury, they're like half retail.
Yeah, and like CB says, they're a real watchmaker, quality watchmaker.
Oh yeah, it's proper stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But I was amazed. I went onto the Jura Watches website recently. I was amazed to see in their sale Parmigiani Fleury or the GMT Rattrapant for half price, basic. No, sorry.
Yeah.
66%.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get a lot of love, Parmigiani, unfortunately.
Yeah, if I had the money, I would definitely consider getting the Panda chronograph that they do. I think that's a great looking watch, man.
Like if you're getting more than a third off the price, it's a real. Yeah, it's very tempting if you were in that kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
So next up is what I call the chessboard look dial, and that comes on the IWC Angelo that came out in 2023, I think it was. This style has a distinctive grid structure which consists of small lines offset to each other by 90 degrees. Are we fans of this sort of
I love it.
Chessboard style look?
I love IWC as a brand. I love the Ingenieur, and I love this dial that they came out with at Watches and Wonders a couple of years ago. I think it's fabulous. Personally, I go for the blue one.
Really?
Yeah, but this is up there with the best of the integrated sports models.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed with it. I think it's way overpriced.
That was my issue with when the Angelo relaunched. Was the price was like fucking way out there, man. But this dial itself, I think, is pretty cool. My question is, is it cohesive with the rest of the watch? Do you know what I mean? Like, does it
fit in with the watch?
Yeah. I don't know if it does.
I don't know whether it does, to be honest with you, JTB. Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
I think it's a bit jarring, to be honest.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's fucking busy, man. It's a busy dial, but you've got a fairly, overall, it's like a smooth, pretty flowing watch case and bracelet design. And then you chuck this really busy dial in amongst all of that. It just messes with my head a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. What do you think, Abdul? Are you a fan of it? You muted.
You're muted there, Abdul.
Same as JCB, especially with the Patek, I think Maurice Lacroix, or there is a different it has the same movement, same under the same piece, so basically they get the same brace of material and all this stuff together, and it's less than quarter of the price. And I don't know. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know, Jason. Good to know as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's more one of those dials that interacts with the light, like when you're shifting it around on your wrist as such, rather than it having that permanent kind of grid-like pattern.
I'd still buy an engineer AMG, older ones, like for $3,000 with a echo movement. That's okay in my books, but $10K for like an echo movement just because of the IWC branding, I'm not so keen on it.
Yeah, it's too. I agree, it's too expensive.
Yeah, I generally think it's a bit too expensive. So I'll move on to a different sort of pattern dial, which this is a lovely one, this one. Comes
Tom,
from
briefly, sorry, Tom, to cut across you. Just Bill's comment there. It's part just in regards to the massive discounts on the Parmigiani Flurrier. Bill says price so high that when the buyer gets a discount, he walks out like a winner. And I like the sucker that they are. That did cross my mind, and it might be a fair point to the pricing those big discounts. Sorry, Tom.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, you buy secondary. I mean, in the state of the market is you buy secondary, I think. But this is one of my favorites of so far. This Anderson jumping out for the 40th anniversary as an independent watchmakers. Legends Fred Anderson created 3 celebratory watches. The most standout one being this stunning decorative dial on his jump out watch. The blue gold is decorated with what is called magic lozenge pattern, and the Guilloché pattern looks like 3 different rose engine lathes to create the maze-like dial. The shimmer of the blue gold combined with the Guilloché pattern really does look gorgeous. And the rotors, it even has a Barleycorn Guilloché pattern, sorry. But just look at that. I mean, that's beautiful, I think.
Yeah. Agree, Thomas. Yeah,
It's a
beautiful
watch. Whatever. Yeah. My
You
God.
see the rotor even has a Guilloché.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. The strap is gorgeous too.
Yeah, 41,000 Swiss francs. It's a lot of money, but hey.
Old school lugs, isn't it? It's like the K shape is proper 40s through 60s, really. Those 3 decades.
Yeah.
Like,
beautiful watch, I think.
Vintage Omega.
Fuck, man.
So just for the last couple now, just to round it off, and we're on to Meteorite dials. Now, a lot of them are polished and don't have the texture. I featured this one, the Venezianico Arsenal Meteorite. Meteorite dials have become popular over the last few years and now available in many budget watches as well as expensive ones. For €1,000, Venezianico sell this one. They may not have real textures, such maybe polished, as I said, but like stone dials have a textured look. Meteorite here's from the Lustra meteorite, which was one of the oldest ever found and fell to Earth over 1 million years ago in Sweden. And the iron and nickel formed in the cores creates a Widmanstatten pattern with geometric textures. And after cutting and finishing, each style is acid treated to reveal these Widmanstatten patterns. I really like this one, to be honest with you. And for £1,000, I think he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
For €1,000.
It's a really good looking watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
It
seem
is,
to be
yeah.
making moves, Venezianico. I always kind of considered them to
They
be.
are, yeah.
It's funny, if anybody gets to have a chance to look at Andrew Morgan's overrated watches video, it's good, but he talks about Meteorite. Apparently, especially when you're cutting it into small dials, there's an abundance of Meteorite there. In fact, there's two, as you mentioned, one of the Meteorites that fell to Earth. There's a second one as well. And it's very, very cheap to... it's a very, very cheap material, both to extract and to buy.
Yeah.
But it goes into like a Rolex GMT Master 2, and it's seen as this like mad luxury material. He's just was highlighting the point, but he's very funny, I have to say.
Mm.
And Jason's reviewing the Venezianico soon, and D-Time Love Show, who was in chat earlier, he's already done his review of it. And so check that out and check Jason's review out. And
Cool.
it looks like a lovely watch.
It
looks
really
like
does.
It
Great,
really
man.
does look like a nice watch.
Yeah.
I really love that coinage on the outer bezel,
Yeah.
and I love the crown, the onion shaped crown, or cupcake shaped crown, if you will.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of finishing going on there. Wow.
I think my only criticism is, and I'm being really nitpicky, is like see at the case and bracelet, that link, that round, like that bottom, that link there in the
Age-link
middle,
bracelet, the age-link bracelet, yeah.
that big link in the middle there sort of just seems a bit big, but besides that, yeah, no, really cool looking watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to retail for €1,200, but it's just been introduced, so they're doing a special promo for €1,000, which I think is cracking.
Wow.
It's interesting that Morgan was saying that, yeah, Meteorite was cheap and that it's abundant and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's a fucking meteorite, man. Like, how much of them can there be around? Like, not many. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Depends which one you go for. I mean, apparently let me pronounce it. Munion Alustra meteorite, which fell in Sweden. There's quite a lot of it. So
yeah, okay.
But this one next watch is made from a Gibeon meteorite, which fell in Namibia, and it's the classic Rolex GMT Master meteorite dial, and this is the last one was €1,000. This is £41,000. So you're paying 41 times the price for this one.
Yeah.
And
I suppose
this, as well as the Speedmaster, is one of the most recognized meteorite dial watches. It was added to the lineup of Basel World 2019 and announced. And Rolex has done Meteorite Daytona. I hate Daytona, so I chose this to look at. And an asteroid is a large rocky body orbiting the sun. A meteoroid is a small rock or particle. Sometimes a meteoroid can be vaporized when it hits the atmosphere, and it's called a meteor. So that's where we get the name meteorite from. And this watch uses the size of the Gibeon meteorite that fell in Namibia in prehistoric times, scattering across the ground 10,000 miles surrounding the town of Gibeon, Namibia. And the meteorite and its fragments are now protected as a natural monument, and so the supply Rolex has is very limited. So there aren't loads of meteorites. The crystalline patterns are known as Thompson structures that run through the meteorite, and again the dial to acid etch to reveal the shapes and textures. And each dial is unique on a meteorite dial. So it's hard to find a better looking meteorite dial than this one. I feel so. Every dial's going to look different. So
I suppose the point Andrew Morgan was making, JCB, was that he could buy go online and buy a rock of meteorites
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
60 or 70 pounds or something, and he estimated he could make about 20
Yeah,
dials from his rock as such.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, like meteorites, actually, when I think about it, they're probably not that rare because they're crashing into the earth all the time. I suppose it's just a matter of going to find the things, right?
I think he mentioned, from what I remember, there was two main sites that are used by the jewelry and fashion sectors.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Probably Namibia and Sweden. I guess they're probably the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, this watch. For a couple of things about this watch, this is a white gold GMT, so that's the first thing to note. It's the price is going to be naturally a lot more expensive than anything else. But yeah, I'm just not a fan. I'm not digging Meteorite on the GMT for some reason.
Okay.
Don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me, man. I'd much prefer when I'm going for the white gold one to get I think it's a dark blue dial that they do on the
right.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. It's a bit polarizing for a lot of people. Yeah, I can see that. I can get you there, JTB.
I'm the opposite. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, man, a lot of people love this watch. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for me, it's just not I don't know. I think because when I think of a GMT in my head, I'm always thinking it's got a black dial or a dark dial. You know, I think of that's what I associate, I suppose, with the GMT. So anything that changes that just messes with my head too much.
Yeah. Any opinions, Abdul R Y2K?
For me, I'm sort of okay. I mean, because this watch to me, realistically, in my neck of the woods, it's always been the so-called it's a flex face. So sometimes I think when I look at it in real life, I'm sort of like, no, because it's really like, because it's Meteorite. Oh, then it's like it's a different ball game, different price point, different kind of level. So I've got to say that even though it's a nice piece, I have yet to really appreciate what it really is. Yeah.
Yeah, Joby says it's the best Rolex in his opinion. It looks similarity to the Pan Am.
Yeah.
And Underachieving says the legibility isn't great. Which, with the white hands against the white dial.
And the white indices. That's why the Explorer is black. Yeah, that's why the Explorer
everything white. I can't see anything. I have to really raise what Underachieving is saying, that this is not very visible. Yeah, legibility and visibility are sort of like there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent is with you, JCB. Yeah.
Brent says he prefers dark blue dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I love Meteorite dials in certain watches. For example, the Platinum Speedmaster 321, where it's got the Meteorite sub dials, so you get some little hints of Meteorite. I really love that watch, but here, just for this one on a GMT, it just I don't know, man. It's just something about it just doesn't work. Maybe it's because you got the bezel as well, or I don't know. Just something about this thing doesn't really quite work for me.
Yeah. Wishful ignorance saying the rarity of meteorite is finding a large enough specimens useful for dial making. Okay. Most meteors burn up or explode before reaching the surface.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think because we're constantly being bombarded by meteorites, essentially. And they are, shooting stars, right? That's what I think that's a meteor. And when it lands on the Earth, the rock is a meteorite. I think that's what it is. So, and we're always, they're always coming in. And so I guess, finding the bigger ones where you can machine it.
Yes.
To get a dial or whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mason says, hey folks, I'm afraid I must leave you, so upvote the stream. Thank you all and catch you all in the next stream. Love you all.
Thanks, Mason.
Thanks, Mason 1. And yeah, if you enjoyed what we did, fellas, please give us a thumbs up. Please give us a like. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's an invitation to subscribe, as Bill Sanders always says. Next show in 2 weeks, I'm going to be at British Watchmakers Day, so we're going to have a month off. So we'll be back in a month. And yeah, so it's been great to see you all in the chat. It's been really active chat today. It's been great stuff, and that's what we're doing for. Hope you enjoyed the show, as I say. Thank you to Abdul. Thank you to JCB. Thank you to Ben. Thank you to Y2K for joining us. Great panel today. Sure enough, you watches Y2K. Do you want to show us some watches again? Do you want to put your full screen?
Yeah.
Just before we end off, I just thought you guys to share with you all. Don't forget to check out the Seiko Party Diver. This is quite inexpensive, but what I want to draw your attention to is the dial itself. Let me just light it up a bit. Okay. Right.
Wow, good loom, nice loom.
Yeah.
Now,
Seiko loom is dope, man.
when you can, guys, look in the dial itself. You will find a lot of little like, it looks like tire treads inside there. Okay, it's inside. My camera isn't doing it justice, but check it out yourselves. Another notable mention is one of the Seiko turtle divers, one of the latest ones. In the dial, when you look under the light, you will see like there are marine animals inside it. So if you are interested, there's some inexpensive Seikos you guys can actually look at to get like really fancy dials. Just thought I'd share with you guys out there. Yeah.
Thank you, Y2K.
Thanks,
Thanks,
mate.
Y2K.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone. Thanks, Junior Johnson, and thank you for Bafaras. Great to see everyone in the chat. And as I say, please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the show, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And please subscribe to Abdul's channel as well, Abdul R Watches, and to JCB channel, JCB's Place. And to Ben's channel, Wonder of Watches. Yeah, all great channels. Check them all out. And if you want to post a link to your channel in the chat, please feel free. If you've got a channel, I know Design Atelier has got a channel. If any of you want to, Skylar Santana's got a channel. I think Wishful Ignorance has got a channel. But anybody with a channel, please feel free to post a link to your channel in the chat. We want to share the love and you know, do good stuff. So we'll see you all next time, guys, and take care. And we'll be back in a month. See you next time. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Later,
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody.